Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to share some of my tips and tricks for speeding up your makeup application. I posted a video a couple weeks ago about timing and scheduling for bridal, and I mentioned in that video that for my bridal appointments for makeup I give myself about 45 minutes, and a ton of you direct messaged me, left me comments on the video saying, oh my god Angie, it takes me an hour to do makeup. Some of you messaged me saying it takes me an hour and a half, 2 hours to do my bridal makeup. What do I do? I want to start by saying don't freak out. Speed is really important in our industry. Accuracy is important, precision is important. You want to be able to turn out a beautiful makeup in a really short time. For most of us working in this industry, we're not going to have the luxury of 2 hours to get someone ready, especially if you're doing bridal and especially if you're working in film and television. The time allotted for makeup and hair is very short, so speed is the name of the game. Also important to know that speed comes with practice and it comes over time. And before I get into some of my tips and tricks, I want to remind you guys that building a career as a makeup artist, you have to pace yourself. You're not going to be able to be amazing at everything as soon as you graduate makeup school or as soon as you start freelancing. Building your skills and building your network and getting faster at doing makeup, it takes time. It can take years. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something that you want to work towards, and if speed is an issue for you, it's definitely a goal that you want to set for yourself to get a little bit faster with your makeup applications. So one of the biggest tricks and tips that I kind of use all the time when I do makeup, and a lot of you probably already do this and you've seen a lot of people on YouTube do it, I like to do the eyes first, so I will complete the eye makeup look before I move on to the rest of the complexion. And I do the eyes first obviously because I can pretty much go as fast as I want and be as messy as I want, and then just clean off any of the fallout from my shadow, and I don't have to worry about disrupting the foundation that I've already put down. So if you're somebody that likes to put down foundation first, and again, there's really no rules when it comes to makeup, but if you are looking to cut down your timing, doing the eyes first, cleaning them up once you're done, and then applying foundation does save a lot of time. And of course, if you finish your look and you realize, you know what, I want to make that eye a little bit smokier, I want to add a little bit more shadow, you can totally go and do that at the end. But at the beginning, when you're laying down the foundation for your eye makeup look, you don't have to be neat, you don't have to be precise, you can just get that shadow on there and then clean it up, do your foundation, and that will save you a ton of time. Sort of piggybacking off doing eyes first, sometimes I will actually do one complete eye first, get the look, and then I'll replicate that look on the second eye. Once I nail down the look on one side, I find for me personally, it makes the second eye go much faster because I know exactly what shadows I'm using. I know exactly the techniques that I'm using to get that eye makeup look. So doing one eye complete first and then moving on to the other one, it's a tip that I use and it's been a huge time saver when I'm doing makeup. Now you guys know from watching my videos, I'm not a huge fan of primer for foundation, but in terms of speeding up makeup application, I am actually a huge fan of primer for eyeshadow. It allows my eye makeup to go on really smoothly. I don't have to keep loading shadow on the eye to get a nice dense color payoff. It makes the colors of my shadow appear a little bit brighter and a little bit more rich. So it just makes everything look better, and it just makes my application seem a little bit faster and easier. The next tip, it's one that I actually struggle to follow, but it does make a difference in terms of how fast you are applying makeup, and that is to actually use fewer brushes when you are doing your makeup applications. So you don't need 50 eyeshadow brushes. You can group your eyeshadow brushes, for example, in light shadow and dark shadow. So I maybe will use 1 or 2 brushes for a light or base shadow and a highlight, and 1 or 2 brushes for really deep dark shadow. And sometimes I also like to have that color buildup on my brush when I'm working on a client. So if I have a little bit of highlighter left on one of my brushes and I go to apply a little bit of a base shadow, it kind of adds new dimension to the shadow that you're working with. So don't feel like you need to have one brush for every color or texture or consistency of product that you're using. Try to keep the number of brushes that you're using on your client to a minimum. Of course, there are going to be times when you're going to have makeup applications that require a lot of brushes. If you are doing really precise graphic liner, or maybe you're doing a specific color palette with your makeup and you need your brushes to be clean, of course you're going to have those situations come up. But for the most part, just cut down the number of brushes that you're using and you will find that your makeup application goes a lot faster. Keeping your makeup station setup organized is a really big time saver. Now you guys have seen on my Instagram stories when I post shots of my makeup table setup while I'm working. it gets crazy. But in between my clients, in between changing looks, I always reset and clean up my station so that everything that I need is right there in front of me and I'm not wasting time looking for products or brushes that are hidden under other products. So I do try to keep things organized, even though it does get a little chaotic on my makeup table. I always reset in between my clients and in between looks. And also keeping this in mind, you really don't need to set up every single palette you have every single time you're going to be working. Once you guys get out there and work a little bit more, you will know which products you'd like to use, whether it's foundation or eyeshadow or whatever it is. Narrow it down so that when you set up, you just have what you need. Don't feel pressured to literally display everything that you need on your makeup table because you're not going to use all of that. And when you're working and you go to turn to grab what you need, it takes a couple seconds sometimes to sort through all that visually and figure out what you're going to use. So make it easier, make things faster, make your station setup a little bit more small and compact so you're not going back and forth and wasting time doing that. And you're not wasting time sort of deciding what you want to use. So keeping your things organized and keeping your station set up to a minimum with a few products is going to be helpful with your timing and speed. Another thing to keep in mind when you're setting up your station or you're setting up your makeup table is to put things in a place that makes sense. Don't just line up all your stuff as it comes out of your kit. Think about where you are putting things on your makeup table. A great example of this is skincare for me. So I like to set up my skincare sort of off to the side. I pretty much only use my skincare at the beginning of my makeup applications, and then I like to have it out of the way because I'm really going to be working with my foundations and eyeshadow palettes and blush, and that I like to have closest to me so I'm not walking back and forth or reaching or wasting time sorting through or reaching behind things on my makeup table. So try to set up your station logically and keep the things that you're going to be working more closely with sort of closer to you, and make sure you can see exactly what you need. So as soon as you turn around or as soon as you look at your makeup table, you'll know exactly where your items are and you can just quickly grab what you need, and there's no time wasted sort of shuffling through your kit. I talked about body positioning and taking care of ourselves as makeup artists, and I've mentioned this in a couple videos now, but setting up yourself in a comfortable way makes you work faster. If you are uncomfortable when you're working, you're going to stop for a minute, you're going to pause, you're going to kind of stretch it out, and this is going to take time away from your makeup application. So when you can, because this is not always going to be the case, make sure your client is in a comfortable position for you to do makeup on them. So make sure they're sort of at this level to you. You don't want to be hunched over and you also don't want to be reaching too high. If you don't have a high chair or stool or bar stool that you can sort of sit your client on to do their makeup and they're sitting in just a regular chair, you yourself can also apply makeup sitting in a regular chair. It gets you more on an even level with your client so that you are not reaching or contorting your body in an awkward way. When you are comfortable, you're going to be able to apply makeup faster and you're not going to be pausing to sort of reset your body. Oh, also another thing I wanted to mention, don't set up your makeup station so far away from where you're actually going to be working. I've seen this before on a couple jobs and at weddings. I've seen artists set up their makeup table like a couple feet away from where their client is, and that's just a waste of time. You're walking back and forth. So every time you walk back and forth, that is a couple seconds that you're losing from your makeup application time. So try to keep everything close to you and within arm's reach. Going back to the point about walking back and forth to your station to save time, the other thing you want to do is bring a small garbage bag. And you guys know I'm a big fan of using dog poo bags as little mini garbage bags. I hate having garbage on my station when I'm working. I don't like having used Q-tips or cotton pads or baby wipes. I like to throw those out right away. If you bring your own little garbage can or little garbage bag, you can set it up off to the side in your station, and as you're going, you can keep your station neat and clean, and the products that you have on your station are not going to be covered in dirty used Q-tips or baby wipes or whatever, so you can just toss those things as you're going into a garbage bag. So you're not walking back and forth throwing things out while you're doing your makeup application. I know it's a weird tip, but little things like this and setting up your station more efficiently make a huge difference. The next thing I wanted to mention in this video, and I think it's important to note, I know I talked about having a good eyeshadow primer, and that's a tip that I like to use in terms of speeding up my eye makeup application. I had one of my viewers ask me when they should splurge on items in their kit and when they should save, because you guys know I'm not really a fan of buying a million different things for your kit, and I'm also not a fan of buying like really expensive stuff for your kit, because I find sometimes really expensive high-end cosmetics don't actually do a great job. So a tip that I want to share with you guys in terms of speeding up your makeup application and investing in products for your kit, you want to invest in products that make your job easier. We waste a lot of time as artists working with really crappy products. So if you are working with an eyeshadow that doesn't have a great color payoff, you're going to be taking time to layer that shadow to get the color that you want. This happens when you do a smoky eye. You can't get that depth or that dark black shadow. So buying shadows that have great color payoff, that apply really smoothly without a lot of fallout, great investment for your kit, also going to make you faster as a makeup artist. Another example is taking time to layer foundation that isn't giving you great coverage. So invest in foundations that have really great pigmentation, good color payoff, that apply really quickly and easily. Again, this is going to make the foundation application go a lot faster for you when you have good quality products. And don't confuse good quality with expensive. Some of the things that I would consider sort of good investments in my kit that actually make me faster at my job: the Anastasia brow pencil. Great pigment, great color selection. I don't have to worry about color matching brows because she's got a pretty good range in her line, and I know that the couple pencils that I have in my kit will work on pretty much anybody. I can do a beautiful structured filled in brow really quickly with a product like that. The RCMA foundation, you can use it as a concealer, as a foundation. There's a great color selection. You can mix it down. You can use it as full coverage. These are investments in my kit that actually make me faster at my job because they're such great products. So that is where you want to spend your money. There's nothing wrong with starting out maybe using a few drugstore products in your kit, but as you grow, you will see that when you invest in good quality products that make you a better artist, you will also get faster because you're not going to be wasting time working with products that don't work. When you get to a point where you're like, I just can't get faster, I practice all the time and my speed is just not improving, think about some of the other things, like that crappy eye pencil that you're using that doesn't give you any color payoff, that takes you 10 minutes to get on the eye. Throw that in the garbage. Buy a softer pencil. Buy something that has a better color payoff. Buy an eyeliner gel. Whatever it is, whatever makes things easier. So if you have these things about your kit that are sort of nagging you in the back of your mind, where every time you use a product and you're just like, ugh, this takes forever to get on, I can't mix this properly, it might be time to consider something new or another product for your kit. These things do make you faster, and some of the better quality, not necessarily the most expensive, some of the better quality products that pro makeup artists are using, we use them for a reason. They just make our job easier. That's where you want to invest your money, and these are all things to consider if you do want to be faster at makeup application. And the last tip I have, probably the most important tip, we need to learn to talk and work at the same time with our clients. When I first started out, I am such a talker. I could talk all day. I could talk to anybody. I would talk to my clients, and I didn't realize at the time, but every time I would turn to answer a question or talk to them, I would actually stop working. In bridal especially, this is very, very important because the time that you have with your client is so minimal. Great example of learning to talk and work at the same time and being more efficient with your time while you're working. When you're doing bridal, let's say you finish a client, you have a bunch of dirty brushes and whatever else on your station, you can call over your next client, have them sit down while you're cleaning up your station and cleaning up your brushes. You can talk to your next client about the makeup look they're going for, or the hairstyle that they want to achieve, or what color dress they're wearing. So that will save you time. Talking and working at the same time, it sounds so simple, but it's actually one of the hardest things to master as a makeup artist, because even if you think you're good at it, you really have to be aware, because even for me, I find that I actually apply makeup slower when I'm talking. So I really make a point to focus on what I'm doing. And again, guys, this all comes with practice. So it is something that you have to work on and learn to optimize your time with your client so you avoid that like last 10 minutes of your appointment where you're trying to finish off the look and finish doing the eye makeup and get the lip on straight. So try to avoid that stress and work efficiently with your time. That's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. I will have a new video for you every Wednesday. Thumbs up if you like the video, and don't forget to come and say hi to me on social media. All of the links to my social media are right down there. And guys, don't forget to tag me in the work that you're doing. I want to see what you guys are up to. I want to see your bridal stuff. I want to see your editorial. I want to see pictures of you guys on set. So please tag me in some of the photos that you're posting on social media so I can talk to you guys that way as well. Oh, if you have any questions about this or anything else, you can put them in the comments box below. That's it for now. It's super early in the morning right now. Sorry guys. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.